Hello YouTube, welcome back to another video. I've been on a bit of a roll. I've been making a lot of videos the last couple days. I think I've just been spurned on by all the positive comments I've gotten from you guys. Thanks for that. There's a lot of new people on the channel and I'm very excited to welcome all of you guys here. Anyways, video today. We have a lot of news about, well, most of these aren't really news as much as some things I wanted to talk about that I haven't talked about in previous videos yet. But we're going to talk Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Gold, TRON, and Ripple a bit today. But first, let's take a look at the markets as always. We see, compared to earlier today when I made my other video, the markets continued sliding. Total market cap is now at 218.9 billion. Bitcoin dominance at 55%, which, is this the highest it has ever been? Has it cracked 55% before? I remember it being at 54.6, I believe, before, but this might be the highest dominance it's ever had. But we see why here. Pretty much everything has dropped over 10%, while Bitcoin has only dropped 5%, and is ever so slightly below 7,000. Now, if we look at the graphs, it does look like they might be catching themselves, but this is a pretty massive downturn, a pretty massive slide in one day. Let's hope we see prices go right back up. I think we probably got a bit too bullish, and the bears were like, nope. We got too excited too quickly. Reason I'm not super scared is because we've seen this before, and as long as it's not worse than it was 3 weeks ago, I'm not really worried yet. Even then, we have seen some people say that Bitcoin has to hit anything between 3 and 5,000 before the next bull market can start. You know, these are all short-term movements. Long-term, I'm not worried. Long-term, I know cryptos will succeed. And I would advise you guys to stay hopeful as well. And most importantly, don't sell off all your holdings. You are making it worse if you're selling off, if you run scared now. Instead, what you should be doing, you should be buying. Look at these prices. Look at these. In a year, you will look back at these prices and you will hate yourself for not having bought. If the markets continue growing, which in the long term we absolutely expect, this might be the last time. Late 2018 might be the last time prices are ever this low. Use this opportunity to buy. I know I'm using this opportunity to buy. Anyways, let us move on to the actual stories for today. First up, Bitcoin actually hit $24,000 today in Iran because the government officially recognized cryptocurrency mining as an industry. Let us read through this article now. Iran has recently announced that they will begin to treat cryptocurrency mining as an industry. This comes after increased pressure on the country enforced by changing economic sanctions imposed by the United States. Amidst this bullish news, the price of Bitcoin was reportedly around $24,000 on some Iranian exchanges, which you can see in the screenshot here, is 102 million tomans. I actually don't know how to pronounce their national currency, but obviously it was traded in their national currency, not in US dollars directly. The exchange platform Axia reported a price of, what I just said, for one Bitcoin, bringing the value of the coin above its previous all-time high of $20,000. The current price of the cryptocurrency is about $7,300. This article was clearly written a couple hours ago because it's around $6,900 now. The price of Ethereum was also inflated to be around $900 compared to its current price of $280. I think Ethereum is more around $250 or $260. The Iranian Foreign Exchange and Monetary Policy Regulator, the Central Bank of Iran, is all set to draft a framework of policies set for the newly created industry of cryptocurrency mining. According to Iran's Supreme Council of Cyberspace Secretary, I'm not going to try to pronounce that, the policy is set to be drafted in the next 18 days. He said in a statement to Ibana, I don't know what that launching a national cryptocurrency is promising. He also stated that it showed promise in being used as a financial transaction instrument with Iran's trade partners and friend countries. This is due to the rising economic pressures through US sanctions. US, of course, putting heavy sanctions on a lot of countries lately, has gotten a lot more aggressive with that since Trump has taken over. He also added that the mining of cryptocurrencies has been accepted as an industry by many governmental and related authorities. The list includes the Ministry of Communications and Information Technology, Central Bank, Ministry of Industry, Mining and Trade, Ministry of Energy, and the Ministry of Economic Affairs and Finance. So pretty much half the ministries, I assume. I don't know how many they have, but these seem like many of the major ones. The weakening of the Iranian rial against the US dollar is a point of contention for many, as economic sanctions have driven European markets to withdraw from Iran. The president sent a clear message when the sanctions were passed earlier this year in August, thus forcing many companies to choose between Iran and the United States. And if you give people that choice, most people are going to choose the United States. But as we see here, Iran is under threat of hyperinflation, which we have just seen in Venezuela and to a lesser degree in Turkey. This is driving the real to the brink of hyperinflation, as the value has been in a continued downward trend since the announcement of the revised sanctions. Just the announcement of the sanctions drove over 100 companies to withdraw and stop their operations in the country, with growing political unrest visible through riots and protests. This represents another country that has turned to Bitcoin in the times of political and economic instability. This pattern was also seen with Venezuela and its hyperinflated fiat being swapped out and used by Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies such as Dash. Now, I wouldn't characterize this as them turning to Bitcoin, because it's not just Bitcoin that shot up to roughly 3 times its internationally traded value. Ethereum also did, and I assume most other cryptos. This is them turning to crypto in general. But I guess turning to Bitcoin sounds more impressive. So we see this over and over now. Whenever the financial models in a country, the system at the moment becomes uncertain, whenever the currency loses value, people turn to crypto. And if we see another financial crisis in the near future, which we almost certainly will, we could see this happening all around the globe. Now imagine this happening worldwide. Imagine the prices shooting up to 3, 4, 5 times their current value overnight worldwide. That has the potential of happening. And it has been a decade since the last financial crisis. Generally, it's about a decade between financial crises. They're cyclical. They always happen. There will be another one. And a lot of markers that tend to predict them are at roughly the same level that they were in before the last one. So now just imagine, now with cryptocurrencies existing in the world, what will happen next time traditional finance going through a massive financial crisis? Are you excited yet? Next up, let's talk some positives after we saw all the prices slide today. Ethereum price surge coming. ETH futures may be heading to Wall Street. An article from Use the Bitcoin that will of course also be in the description. Ethereum price may be poised for some action, as hinted at trading futures are starting to look like a reality. CBOE has been hinting for some time at its work to create an ETH futures market, and new reports are coming out that see more sources confirming the work and an impending launch. Contrary to some beliefs, this would not be the first ETH futures contract launched. We were just talking about some the other day. Those opportunities are open on UK-based exchanges. What do ETH futures mean for ETH price? It means a lot of things, but it legitimizes ETH trading in the US market and allows a pathway for institutional money to put long and short-term bets on ETH going up or down. The futures market provides more liquidity to an asset that may more firmly paint an accurate price of market value, since currently Ethereum trading is limited to buying and selling market orders. It is also a first step in establishing larger market opportunities like ETFs, the topic of much news lately on Bitcoin. A futures market gives ETH trading some regulatory background and existence, making it a more likely play for an SEC approval of an ETF. But the price is what we want to look at, and though this opens the door to more easily gotten short positions, it will likely create a short-term price spike for ETH. Why? Because it shows that the wider financial market is interested in placing speculative bets on Ethereum outside of crypto exchanges, which can be confusing, intimidating, or in some cases, illegal for some to trade on. In short, it establishes Ethereum as an asset worth speculating on, like markets for stocks, commodities, and foreign currencies. The media attention alone should bring volume to Ethereum with a price hike. Down the line, however, it means that Wall Street can use its leverage to move the price up or down. And the Ethereum team failing to deliver on an important technical deadline, or a big name partner in the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance dropping out, could see short sellers flock in, betting on a price drop. For now, we'll wait for final confirmation, but it seems that Ethereum is following in Bitcoin's footsteps and heading to Wall Street. Now, I think they might be a bit too optimistic here, but in general, I agree with this assessment. Futures being taken out on Ethereum means more legitimacy, it means more institutional money flowing in, but it does carry its risks with it as well. Anyways, this is a necessary step for more legitimized trading in the cryptosphere, and if Ethereum gets some futures, that will be very good in the long term, I believe. I'm sorry, I'm feeling so much better for my cold, but a bit of a cough is still there. I've been talking a lot today, and this is my second video of the day, so my voice is still a bit exhausted from earlier. But let's move on. Bittrex moves to delist Bitcoin Gold. Now, you've probably heard about this in, I believe it was May. There was a 51% attack on the Bitcoin Gold network, meaning that someone controlled so much of Bitcoin Gold that they were able to manipulate the network, that they were able to double spend and thus to pretty much scam money out of the network. And Bittrex was kind of mad, understandably, because they lost out on a lot of money and they wanted Bitcoin Gold to pay them back. Bitcoin Gold said fuck that and didn't. So now they are being delisted from Bittrex, one of the biggest crypto exchanges. This hurts. This really hurts Bitcoin Gold. Bitcoin Gold already very much of a laughing stock of a token, in my opinion. You rarely hear anything good about them. They're one of various cryptos that spun off Bitcoin, and they are definitely not the most respected one among them. But just recently, it looked like they might be moving into more mainstream acceptance, and then something like this happens. And I can understand why Bitcoin Gold would not want to spend all that money. But the fact is, this happened because Bitcoin Gold made a blockchain where this was able to happen. This is ultimately on them. This is on their technology. So, yeah, seeing them not deal with it in any meaningful way is a bit disappointing and definitely paints Bitcoin Gold in a negative light, in my opinion. But moving on. Earlier, or was it on yesterday's video? I actually don't remember. I talked about TRON having bought BitTorrent and having launched their first product, and they actually just launched another product. They launched uTorrent Web. Now, uTorrent is one of the most well-known torrent clients, and uTorrent Web is the new version. Let's read through this quickly. Justin Sun, the founder and CEO of TRON Foundation, announced the launch of a new web portal of uTorrent, a client of BitTorrent, which was recently acquired by TRON. During the launch, Justin stated that all the clients of BitTorrent, including uTorrent, will be TRON clients. He said, "Say hi to uTorrent Web, a torrent client for the streaming age. Thanks to uTorrent and BitTorrent teams for creating this amazing product. Download the Windows version and let us know what you think. App supported by Mac in the works." According to the announcement made by the foundation, BitTorrent and uTorrent teams have been working together for the launch of this new product for several months. The foundation stated that they are excited to launch a new web-based product which is simple and allows quick download. In addition, Corey Keller, the product designer of uTorrent Web team, briefed the community on the use case of the new product. Corey believes that the next generation of torrenting is with uTorrent. He said, "So, it's the streaming age, and here at BitTorrent we understand that nobody wants to wait for a progress bar to hit a 100% before they can hit play and watch or listen to something. I'm going over a few details in the product uTorrent Web to show you just how you can do that." uTorrent Web is a browser-based torrent client which is ready to launch. The product will be available on Windows and the team is working towards launching it on Mac. It's available on Chrome, Firefox, Opera, Internet Explorer Edge, and in many languages. With this product, users can search and play from the torrent files or magnet link while they download. This can be done without the user required to leave their browser in order to look for files or other applications. Along with the feature to play the video or to listen to music while downloading, the product will save all the files locally for the user to use. Users can also download any file type, whether it is media or not, choose to save it in the folder of their preference. And they have malware blocking in there. Now, once again on AMB Crypto, we have a bit of a fluff piece that is kind of hyping up this piece of software more than any journalist would feel safe doing. Like this once again sounds like an ad, but I don't see any information about this being paid for. It says this is reporting. This is not reporting. But anyway, this is out now. uTorrent, well known. This looks to be completely happening in a browser. Essentially, you open a website, and instead of having a software installed on your computer, you can do everything there. Now, a lot of the features that they're talking about here are not new features. They have been around in torrent clients for a while, so I'm a bit confused. Like, that feature to be able to play files while they're downloading, that has been available in torrent clients for at least, I remember using features like that 6-7 years ago. That is not new. So I'm a bit confused about the way they're phrasing this, the way they're presenting this as an innovation. Well, it remains to be seen how good this piece of software is and if it meaningfully integrates TRON in any way. They were talking about TRON, all BitTorrent clients being a TRON client. I don't see any information about how TRON is actually integrated in this here. Does it actually use any type of blockchain technology? Does it use the token? I don't see anything about that. But anyways, it's nice to see them put out software with their new companies. We will just have to see how these turn out to be. I guess I could try it by now, but I have other torrenting software installed that I feel safer with right now. I don't see the advantage of uTorrent Web at the moment. But it's also the first version, so. And last but not least, I think I already talked about this article. I'm not completely sure. I feel like I did, but anyway, it's a good article and I just quickly want to talk about it. Because this Ripple CEO Brett Garlinghouse shares stance on the real value of cryptocurrencies, regulatory framework, and more. The important thing is here, he's talking about hyperinflation, and I like his stance here. The discussion moved ahead where Garlinghouse spoke about the relevance of Ripple's service in cryptocurrencies in countries with unreliable banking systems. In his opinion, fiat currencies work well and will be a preference in the consumer world for the next decade. However, looking at the countries where the scenario of the fiat currency is weak, such as hyperinflation, cryptocurrency will be much easier to hold for survival. In his words, if I were a consumer experiencing hyperinflation, would you rather hold a cryptocurrency or would you rather hold your fiat currency? And a lot of those cases, you're seeing people take pesos of various sorts and saying, I'd rather hold this because it's a better asset to hold in terms of a potential appreciation and lack of inflation. So essentially what he is saying is, in markets experiencing hyperinflation or otherwise uncertainty in the traditional markets, cryptocurrencies, despite their volatile nature right now, are the better bet, are a better store of value, are a better place to put your money. And I think this is very important. More people need to pay attention to this because, like I said earlier, we are very likely to see hyperinflation hit more countries because we see the kind of sanctions that America is dishing out left and right. They will hit more countries. They have already forced 2 countries into hyperinflation, and it looks like they're forcing a third into it right now. More are likely coming. And also because another financial crisis is probably just around the corner. And that could mean more hyperinflation, complete loss of value in traditional finance products, in which case people will also flock to crypto. And with this extremely positive outlook for crypto, I want to end this video. I think Garlinghouse is on the money here, and that is where I'm going to end it. Thanks so much for watching. I will be back, as always, with another video tomorrow, and I will probably be making another Can This and That Token Make You a Millionaire video soon. So if you have a particular currency you want me to talk about, let me know in the comments. I have gotten a request for TRON, but right now I'm thinking I might do one of the big 5 currencies next. But like I said, I haven't decided that yet. I might make that into a series of like weekly or every other week videos where I tackle different currencies, go through a few realistic or less realistic valuations, and just have a bit of fun with it. Anyways, thanks a lot for watching. All the links are in the description, all the social media links are in the description, all the ways to support the channel are in the description, and I will see you guys soon.